What's up, YouTube family? This is your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to another unboxing. Today we're going to unbox the Huawei P Smart 2019. Now, for all of you out there that are on a budget and you want a really nice phone that's going to offer you some really nice features, functions, solid cameras on the front and back, and also looks very visually appealing to the eye, then the P Smart here is definitely going to be an option for you. For those of you that aren't necessarily on a budget, but you just don't really believe in or put too much stock in paying hundreds on up to $1,000 for a phone, and you just want something that's going to be practical, something that's going to be powerful enough to do exactly what you need it to do. And again, on top of that, also is offering some nice features, functions, and looks great. Then the P Smart 2019 also may be for you as well. Those of you that thought that you would never ever see a Huawei device on my phone again because of what the government is talking about, F the government. You know what I'm talking about? F the government. Ain't no dictatorship here. Ain't no dictatorship here. I don't care what Huawei's done. They've done some janky things. Okay? But does that mean that they make bad devices? Absolutely not. A lot of these companies are behind the scenes doing all kinds of things that if it were to blow up, they'd be making headlines as well. They just ain't got caught yet. You know what I'm saying? So Huawei P Smart 2019, let's go. Now, first off, let's talk about the specs before we go ahead and crack this phone out the box. Now, one of the most important specs being the price. This phone is on Amazon right now for $198. And it's interesting, the colors seem to dictate a difference in price, you know. So, and it's not anything significant, but this is the Aurora Blue, as you will see once I take it out of the box. But the Aurora Blue was $198. There's a coral red, beautiful red, which that one was like $210 or something like that. And then the black one, I believe, was like $190 or something like that. It's interesting how, like, the same phone, same specs, but just different colors, you'll notice a little bit of difference in the price. I've never quite understood that, but it is what it is. So first off, the price, and I'll drop a link down below in the description if this is something that you guys want to take advantage of. Now, what have we got here? Okay, we've got a dewdrop display. Okay, the dewdrop, as Huawei describes it, is like the little drop right here at the top. It's not a notch or anything like that. This is my OnePlus 6T here. So we don't have the notch. We have the little dewdrop, as Huawei refers to it as. Okay, but we've got a 6.2 inch 2340 by 1080 pixel Full HD Plus display. We've got a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio, 83.1% screen to body ratio, PPI pixel density of 415. The screen is an IPS LCD, and the build is a 3D curved unibody. It's got like a glossy ceramic texture. Feels really good in the hand. I have taken it out the box and held it. You know, it feels really good, and it's nice and thin. I mean, so it's not one of those really wide or tall phones. It shouldn't be cumbersome for people to manage, even if you've got small hands like myself. Okay. Now, the guts, the internals. We've got the high silicon Kirin 710 processor, which is very equivalent to the Snapdragon 710 processor. It's one of those upper echelon, mid-range type of processors. Okay. We've got an octa-core GPU. We've got a Mali G51 GPU, MP4 GPU, my apologies. So that's the Mali G51 MP4 GPU. We've got Android 9 Pie. We've got the latest software running over EMUI 9. We've got 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded up to 512 gigabytes. Now, for the cameras, we got a dual setup on the rear and a single setup on the front. The main primary sensor on the rear is a 13 megapixel sensor, and then we've got another 2 megapixel sensor, which is a depth sensor. The selfie camera is an 8 megapixel sensor that features HDR video recording at 1080p at 30 frames per second for both the front and the rear camera. Now, it's interesting, if you get this same phone in other markets, like say over in Russia, then that 8 megapixel selfie camera is going to be a 16 megapixel sensor as opposed to the 8 megapixel. So you get the 8 megapixel front facing selfie if you get a selfie cam, if you get the phone here in the US and other places near here. But other areas in the world, you're going to get a 16 megapixel front facing camera. Okay, now the battery, we've got a non-removable 3,400 milliamp hour battery. We do have fast charging. Sadly, we do not have Type-C on this phone. We've got micro USB. You know, is that going to be a determining factor for some? Maybe. Again, we still do have quick charge, and I've seen some phones charge pretty fast with micro USB, so not really a big deal to me. But I would have liked to have seen Type-C on this particular device here, considering that it's 2019. I mean, I'm like, you know, all the things at this point just need to be Type-C. They need to completely do away with micro USB. All right, those are just my thoughts. Colors that you can get this phone in, you can get it in midnight black, Aurora Blue, which is what this color is, sapphire blue, and coral red. Okay, other notable features, we've got a hybrid dual SIM, so you can put a dual SIM card in here, or an SD card to expand the memory, or you can put 2 SIMs in it. You know, so those of you that like to travel around a lot, for traveling, if you got another SIM card, then you know you can use dual SIMs, or you know, if you just got 2 SIMs because you got your main line and then the other line is for your creep status, then you know what I'm saying, you can go ahead and get your creep on all with one device here with the P Smart 2019. Okay. We do have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, so I know people are going to be happy about that. We've got Bluetooth 4.2 rather than Bluetooth 5.0. Would have been nice to have seen the most recent Bluetooth functionalities on the P Smart here, considering that this is again a 2019 device. But again, it's a budget device. We can't expect to have all the bells and whistles, but we do have Bluetooth 4.2, which is not bad. We do have NFC. We do have an FM radio. We've got a fingerprint sensor. We've got Face ID. We do have dual stereo speakers, and so there's a speaker up top in the earpiece, and there's another bottom firing speaker. We will test those out as well. And then we also have GPU Turbo for gaming. So those of you that like to game on your phones, if you're playing Apex Legends or Fortnite or PUBG, whatever games you like to play, you'll be able to do so on this phone with the GPU Turbo. Okay, now you can't necessarily expect to get like top of the line flagship performance like some of the flagship devices that we see, but I've seen some video footage and I've seen people gaming on this device, and they did not seem to have an issue with gaming on it whatsoever. So, you know, me personally, I don't game on my phones. I'm a console gamer, PS4 all day, every day. You know, PS4 Pro, might I add. All right, the Pro. But for those of you that like to game on your phone, hey, you've got a helpful tool right there that's going to help smooth out your gaming experience on your device. All right, so those are the specs right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's go ahead and crack this box. Now take a look at the box presentation. Huawei P Smart, got the 2019 right there at the bottom. Right side of the device, P Smart 2019, Huawei logo. Left, P Smart 2019. On the bottom, you got your serial number, VIN, all that kind of stuff. And then here's just some information. Huawei P Smart 2019, the ROM, the RAM, the color, model number, all that kind of thing. And then on the bottom of the device, or on the box rather, you've got nothing. Got some tape there. I've already cut through that. And so let's go ahead and peel the box out. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, yo. All right. So here is the device. Okay, slide it out of that plastic. And here's that beautiful Aurora Blue color that I was talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, about. Let's go ahead and peel that off there. File that to the side. Phone is nice and lightweight. Feels really, really, really good in the hand. Oh, that is beautiful. That is so sexy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at that. All right, so we'll go ahead and power on the device, see if we got some juice here, which I'm pretty sure that we do. And while the phone is booting up, we'll go ahead and just look at all the other inbox contents. Okay. All right, so as you can see here, we've got SIM tray right there. Open it up. Okay, nice little, oh, we got a screen protector. Okay, so nice. While we put a screen protector in there, sounds like they're taking some notes from Blue. We got a nice little TPU bumper case here. Let's go ahead and see what that's looking like. Okay, nice little clear, you know what I'm saying? And with this phone being as gorgeous as it is, you want that their bumper case so people can see, because this phone is definitely going to turn heads. All right, here's our typical books and all that. File that to the side. Again, here's our SIM tray, or our SIM pin right there. All right, wall adapter. Okay, and here is our micro USB cord that you plug into the phone to charge. And we got a nice set of headphones that Huawei threw in here. So if you want to listen to music, or you're watching media on your device, you got a nice little pair of headphones for you to do that with. All right, so let's get everything filed to the side and get the device back on display here. All right, now still booting up there, so not the fastest boot up, but not really a big deal. Here's our front facing sensor, and there is a little speaker that's right up there that also is part of the dual stereo speaker system there. 6.2-inch display. Here is our dewdrop right there, so you can see the front facing camera is right there inside of the dewdrop. To the right of the device, we've got the power button and the volume rocker and nothing else. To the top of the device, we've got the SIM tray. Okay, there we go. And there's, you guys can see that beautiful 6.2-inch display there. All right, and this is the global version of this device. And it is GSM unlocked. I mean, so if you've got T-Mobile, AT&T, Cricket Wireless, Metro PCS, or Mint, Mint Mobile, or any other GSM network that you can think of, then it should work with this device. I mean, this device is going to work with any of those. It's going to support all those antenna bands, or it should. Now, if you've got a CDMA carrier like Verizon, Sprint, Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, you're going to be out of luck with this device, because none of those SIMs are going to work with this particular device. All right. Now, to the left of the device, we've got nothing. It's just clean. Bottom of the device, got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, noise canceling microphone. Here's our USB port for charging, and here's our bottom firing speaker right there on the back of the device. God, absolutely gorgeous. We've got our Huawei branding right here, if you guys can see in the glare. Perfectly placed rear mounted fingerprint sensor, AI camera, LED flash, and here's our dual camera system. 13 megapixel primary, secondary 2 megapixel sensor for depth information. All right, so at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna go ahead and put all my information in, you know what I'm saying, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at the software, and we'll close the video out. All right, hold it down. All right, y'all, so we back in. So got the phone all set up. I haven't put any of my applications on the phone as of yet, just because I wanted to give you guys some clarity, if you will, on the amount of storage that is being taken up by the phone's preloaded applications. Okay, and so like I said, this phone is 32 gigs, but it can be expanded through micro SD card expansion up to 512 gigs. And as you can see, I mean, as far as bloat, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff on here. I mean, just typical Huawei, things that they've got, high care, clock, files, notepad, Huawei's app gallery, tips for the phone and its features and functions. You've got a tool folder here for all of your tools and things that you're going to use that may fall under the tool category. Facebook, I mean, if you use Facebook, I mean, you can use it. If not, you can go ahead and delete it. Google Suite, obviously. But yeah, I mean, not a whole lot going on as far as preloaded applications. You do see, as we swipe to the right of the device, this is our Google feed. Okay. And I find that to be very helpful. I mean, I get a lot of useful information just with the Google feed. So I'm glad that that's present. Just again, swipe to the right, and that just brings up all your information. I get a lot of information on, new phone releases, my, scores for my team, all kind of stuff like that with the Google feed. I mean, so it's definitely useful to me. That can be turned off if you just don't want to have to worry about every time you swipe to the right and the Google feed comes on. You can turn that off under the display settings or the home screen settings. And how you do that, basically, I know a lot of phones, to get to the home screen settings, you just long press on the screen. Well, you can long press on it as well, but another way to do it is if you just take your fingers and pinch the screen, then it will also bring up the same effect as if you were to long press, and that's just going to bring you to your wallpaper, widget, transitions, and home screen settings. And under home screen settings, where it says Google Feed right there, you can just go ahead and just click the little button there and turn Google Feed off if you don't want that. But now under home screen settings, we've got layout, lock layout, auto align, shake to realign, app icon badges, app suggestions, home screen loop, and Google Feed. And so that's what we got there. We do have the ability to change the transitions, and so as I've done, which is why you see that cool little effect there when I'm swiping. That's always, something that I like to do in phones, just to kind of help you really personalize your device and make it look a little bit different than a lot of other Android devices that are out there. The phone feels really, really good in the hand. Again, it's a very slippery back, fingerprint magnet, beautiful color combination though. And as you can see, the phone around the edges, it's curved. And so that provides a really, really, you're really able to get a nice grip on the device. Okay, but I would recommend using the case that came with it because it can be a bit slippery, and as you can tell, it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, beautiful Aurora Blue color. Fingerprint sensor right there on the back, lightning quick, barely tap. Well, and the phone is open. Okay, so we'll just try that again. Boom, and it's open just like that, no problems. All right, now, already know, swipe down from the top to get to your notifications and all of your quick toggles. You swipe down again to access all of your quick toggles. Okay, and if we go to settings here, this is where obviously all of our settings live, and we've got wireless and networks, device connectivity, home screen, and wallpaper. And so, well, that's display. If we go to home screen and wallpaper, we can choose magazine, unlock, themes, wallpaper, home screen settings. You tap on that, that brings you to the same thing as if you pinch down on the screen. Okay, home screen style, I've got it on standard. And so this is where you can choose whether or not you want to have an app drawer present. By default, it's set on standard, which is no app drawer, but if you want to change that, then you can just go ahead and click that. And it's going to readjust some things. And you'll see we've got the little app drawer icon right there, and that's going to take you to an app drawer. So we'll just go ahead and rock with that for right now because I like the look of that. And go back to settings. Under display, okay, we've got brightness, color mode, temperature. And so if you click on that, then you can choose either normal or vivid. By default, it's on vivid. If you want normal, it's going to take a little bit of the color saturation out. It's not going to be as sharp or detailed, but it's going to give it a more natural look and feel. Me personally, I like vivid. I like things to be extremely detailed and crisp. And it seems like, Vivid provides me with that. But you can take your finger here and just move that around, to get the different color effect that you want. Okay. Then we've also got warm, which kind of gives it a little bit more of a yellowish tint, a yellowish hue to it. Cool kind of gives it more of that bluish tint. Okay. If I had to choose one or the other, I prefer cool, but we'll just keep it for default. Keep it on default for the sake of the video. All right. Sleep. 30 seconds. That's what I do with all my devices. Okay. Eye comfort, text and display size, screen resolution, and you got smart resolution. And so that automatically lowers screen resolution to save power. Okay. So you can turn that on or off. And let's see, you can do manual, and you could scale it down from 1080p to 720 if that's something that you want to do. Okay. And then we do have a simple mode as well. Say if you want to hand your phone to your kid or something like that, you can just hit simple mode, and that's just going to simplify everything. I'm not going to apply it, but you see, in order to apply that, you just hit apply. and it's going to switch everything around, and it's going to give you, that's pretty much what simple mode is going to look like right there. I mean, things are just going to, it's going to give it a nice little generic little look and feel, nothing too complicated for whomever it is that may be using your device at that particular time. Or if it's for you, if you just want to simplify things a little bit, if the initial layout just appears to be a little bit complicated, then you can just hit simple mode and it should simplify things for you. Now we'll go into more settings or more display settings, and then we've got full screen display. This is where you can go and basically turn on full screen display for a lot of the applications that don't have a full screen. I mean, so you can optimize those applications in order to take full advantage of the full screen displays, that if that's something that you want to do. Then we've got the notch here, and it's funny how Huawei, they've been referring to the little notch right there as the dewdrop, but it's referred to as a notch on the phone. But nonetheless, it's a notch. It's a little cutout where the front-facing camera lives. If you want to hide that, you just hit hide notch, and you see it blacks out the top of the phone. And I like the fact that when it does that, you still have your notifications and all your information, your time, your battery percentage up there in the black area. Okay, me, I'm not worried about the notch at all. It doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. So I just choose to keep it up there. Okay, now we've got screensaver, auto screen rotate, and then status bar, display carrier name, and display network speed. And so, you know, I've yet to put any of my SIM cards in this phone, but again, as I mentioned, it's GSM unlocked. So you can use this phone with T-Mobile, AT&T, Cricket Wireless, Metro PCS, Mint Mobile, and any other GSM network that may be out there. But I mean, if you're rocking with Sprint, Verizon, US Cellular, Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, you are not going to be able to use this device. All right, and God, this phone, it feels really, really good in my hand, and it's very lightweight. I didn't get the amount of grams that it is, but it's very, very, very lightweight. You know, this phone is definitely, it's a featherweight for sure. Okay, so under settings, we've got sounds, notifications, apps, battery. Okay, so we're at 37%. You know, you do have battery optimization options, and so you can you can hit battery optimize battery usage to help you optimize your battery. And then you've got performance mode, power saving mode, and ultra power saving mode. Now be mindful, if you turn on any one of these battery optimization options, there are going to be certain things that you are going to do without on your phone, and it just cuts off a lot of different things, or you may not have access to certain applications that you want access to help you conserve battery life. And so for instance, for performance mode, if I turn that on right now, that means I've got with 37% battery, as you see right there, that means I've got 19 hours and 2 minutes remaining. If I put it on power saving mode, I've got 22 hours and 1 minute remaining. Ultra power saving mode, I've got 59 hours and 2 minutes remaining. And I think ultra power saving mode is basically it's just going to grayscale your device. And what that means is it's just going to cut off all the color. Your whole device is going to be black and white. That's what grayscale means. And so if you're not too familiar with what grayscale is just turning your whole device black and white. Okay, it's going to be real generic. You're only going to be able to place calls, maybe a text message. I'm not sure about text messages, but I know you'll be able to call and receive calls. I don't believe you'll be able to use the internet. You know, it's just basically shutting down everything, including the color, to give you the most amount of battery life possible. And that's if your phone is at 37%. Obviously, it could be, you know, the numbers here are going to be calculated to higher or lower based on where your battery is at that current moment when you choose to optimize it. But if I were to do that right now at 37%, these are the three options that I'd be looking at to optimize my battery. Okay. App launch, battery usage, power consumption details, battery percentage. I always turn that on. More battery settings. We've got power intense app history and stay connected when device sleeps. So your Wi-Fi or mobile data connection will remain active after the screen turns off. I didn't realize that. I may turn that off. And so what happens is when your phone goes to sleep, it just basically shuts down the network and disconnects from your Wi-Fi if you are connected to Wi-Fi. And then when the phone wakes up, it reconnects. And so that's another useful tool that may help you save some battery life as well if you're really looking to have some battery sustainability. Okay, now storage. As you can see, we have the ability to clean up, and it shows you basically everything that is being utilized by your data right there. Another thing that I really like is digital balance, and this basically just keeps track of how often you're using your phone and what you are mostly using your phone for. So it tracks screen time, app limits, bedtime, you know, how much rest you're getting. And so if I'm just a text message animal, at the end of every day, it's going to send me a notification with the graph of how much time I spent text messaging, okay, or how much time you used surfing the web, or how much time you used on phone calls, or just all those kind of things. I mean, it keeps track right here to really help you, you know, manage what you're doing the most. And so if it's something that you feel is excessive and you want to cut down on it a little bit, then digital balance here is going to be a very, very useful tool to help you do that. Okay, so I find that to be pretty useful. And then at the bottom here, screen time management pin. Okay, so you can set up a pin, you know, to help you get into your screen time management. If I'm correct on what that is, I think that's what that is, but I could be wrong because I've never really seen that on too many other devices. All right, so let's see, security and privacy. This is where you access all of your, you know, Finger ID, facial recognition, lock screen password, app lock, file safe, more settings, you know, where you've got like your SIM card lock and all that kind of thing. You got Google Play Protect right there. I always turn that on. And what that is basically if there's anything harmful, or if an application that I downloaded or want to download to my phone, you know, has a possibility to cause any kind of corruption, no matter what it may be, then it's going to either send me a notification or it's just going to block that application from downloading to my phone. So you definitely want to turn on Google Play Protect for a fact. Okay. Then we've got smart assistants. You've got accessibility, high touch, visual shopping, introduction, about, motion control. So the motions that you've got, you can flip your phone to mute it. So if you're getting a phone call, you just turn the phone on its face, mute the call. To pick up the phone, you can set different actions, and so you can turn on the screen by just lifting up the phone like this. Reduce ringtone volume for timers and alarms. So if your timer's going off when you're sleeping and it wakes you up and you want to turn down the sounds, then you can just raise the phone up, or just to wake up the device, period. If the device is asleep, if you got it sitting down, you just lift it up and it turns on the device just like that. And you saw the facial recognition right there. The facial recognition, it doesn't just pop automatically into your desktop, but you see the little unlock icon right there. So that's an indication that the phone is unlocked. And so we'll try that again really quickly. Phone is on its back, lift it up, boom, and then it just unlocks. And I also like the fact that too, every time you lock the screen and you wake up the screen, there's a different wallpaper right there. And if you scroll to the right, you can scroll through all these different beautiful wallpapers, different landscapes, water, the sea, the ocean, all that kind of thing. But some beautiful eye candy for you on your phone right there every time you lock your device. And then another thing that I love about Huawei devices is the ability to customize different shortcuts on your lock screen. So right now we've got lock, trash, heart. Okay. For if you want to, you know, if you want to like that particular wallpaper right there, share, and then these are your lock screen options. And to get into that, you would just have to enter in your PIN number. Well, let me do that real quick. And these are all of your lock screen options. And so you can use magazine unlock, Huawei features, Leica photography, travel, transportation, celebrity, style, life, sports. You got a lot of different things that you can choose from as far as the type of wallpapers that you want to pop up on your screen whenever you lock the phone. So that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? I like that. I mean, you know, it's pretty visually appealing, and you know, I enjoy it. I'm pretty sure you guys will as well. Okay, so then we've got accounts, Google, and then system. All right, y'all. So another thing I want to show you really quickly too is under the display settings, if you want to get rid of the navigation keys and take full advantage of this 19 by 5.9 or 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio, then what you do is you simply just go into the settings and go to display, and nope, actually I lied. So we're going to go down to system, and we're going to go to system navigation. And this is where you've got your navigation gestures. Okay, so you've got gestures, 3-key navigation, and navigation dock. All right, so if we go to gestures and hit settings, then what that's going to do is that's going to give you a little tutorial on how to navigate your device. And so to go back, you either swipe from the left or the right. To go back, like to your home screen, or if you want to access your recents, you just hold up and hold. And if you swipe from the left or from the left, okay, my bad, hold up. If you swipe up from the left or right, that's going to access your Google Assistant. I'm not really a big fan of that. So here's when you can turn that off. To turn that on, you just click on that little button right there. But I turn that off because I want my phone to go back whenever I swipe up. That's what I'm used to. You know, I'm used to accessing my Google Assistant with other ways. And so that just kind of seems awkward to me. But it's going to give you these little tutorials on how to navigate your finger or navigate your device just using your finger so that you can take full advantage of that full screen real estate. Or you can opt to have the 3 keys. And as you can see, you've got options here as to how you want your buttons to be. So you can have it to where your back, home, and recents is there, or you can switch it. If you're used to holding your hand with your right hand like me, then I always like to have the back button here on the right, the back button in the middle, and then the recents over to the left. And there's a couple other options as well. And so you could also choose to hide the navigation keys. And so they'll be on the screen and you can just swipe up to bring up the navigation keys, or you can hold a little button on the bottom left in order for them to go away. So let's see. So hide navigation keys. Yeah, so you just swipe up. Well, that brought us to recents, but if you swipe up, geez, that keeps taking me to recents. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, well, there must be something that I'm doing wrong. But nonetheless, that's how you do that. And then if you just want the navigation dock, then again, it's going to give you a tutorial on how to use that. And I'll click that on. And this is the navigation dock right here. It's just this little button that you can choose to have anywhere on your display. And let's say if we go into the Bible app, okay, you could just hit that and it's going to take you home. And there's different little gestures and things that you can do on that little button that's going to help navigate your device. Me, I'm not really a big fan of that. So I'm going to go with gestures, and we're going to turn off the navigation dock and just go with the gestures. So if you were wondering how to do that, that's how you do that. So you can opt to have the navigation keys at the bottom, but if you want to take full advantage of the screen like I do, then you can go ahead and turn on gesture control, and you just control your phone with gestures. And so again, go back into the Bible app. If I want to go back, swipe from the right or the left. If I want to go home, I just swipe up. If I want to access my recents, I just swipe up and hold. And this is all my recents here. Okay, again, Android 9 Pie right out of the box, which is why we've got the side scrolling recents as opposed to the up and down. Okay, to get rid of everything, you can swipe up, or you can just hit the trash button and it just clears out everything. All right, so that's how you do that. And so when we go into system, we go to about phone, and this is where we have the phone's, you know, software information. And so device name, Huawei P Smart 2019, the model, the build number, EMUI version 9.0.1, Android version, see that right there, Android 9, IMI number, CPU, high silicon Kirin 710, RAM 3 gigs, internal storage 32 gigs, but 10 gigabytes of storage were utilized by the pre-installed applications. And so right now where we sit, we're at 22.2 free gigabytes. Okay, resolution, we're at 2340 by 1080. All right, latest security patch, and actually as soon as I turned the phone on, there was an update available, and so the latest security patch is January 1st, 2019, which we have that on board. And there was a bunch of other bug fixes. There was a couple of updates that took place with the camera that took place that I'll now be able to utilize with this recent update. And so it's cool just to have that, just boom, right when I turn the device on, it lets you know that there's an update available, and you can go ahead and download it and make sure that your device is running on the latest and the greatest at that particular point in time. Now, let's go into the cameras really quickly. Okay, so switch camera modes. Got it. Just kind of giving you a tutorial about that. GPS tag. Nope. People don't need to know where I is. All right. And as you can see, under the viewfinder, we've got night mode, portrait, photo, video. We go to more. More is your settings. We've got pro mode, panorama, AR lens, light painting, HDR, time lapse, filter, and stickers. All right. And so we'll go ahead and go out of that, go back to photo, and let me see. Let me grab something that I can take a picture of real quick. Okay, just take a picture of the box. All right. Okay, quick shutter speed, problem at all. Oh man, that's beautiful. That is beautiful right there, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, we've got a dual camera system on the rear. 13 megapixel primary, 2 megapixel for depth information. And then here at the top, high vision policy and notice. Okay, yeah, let's hit next, permission, agree. Okay, so this feature requires following permission to go to settings and enable them phone cameras. Enable. Okay, and so this is basically just going to read a lot. Okay, so this is like some of the AI technology stuff. And so this is the feature where you can point it at certain things and the camera's going to try to guess what it is based on what it sees, and it's going to pull up a lot of stuff. And so it was pointing at my keyboard right there, and so it got it right. You hit it right, hit the nail on the head. And so it's pulling up a bunch of keyboards and things that I may want to buy. And so that's pretty nice right there. Okay. And then that's the timer or the flash, whether or not we want that on. So we'll leave that off. And let's see. Moving pictures lets you take still photo that moves when you touch and hold on the gallery. Okay, I thought that was something to do with the portrait mode, but apparently not. Okay, so we'll turn that off. And okay, so that's the AI camera right there. So we'll turn that off. AI camera disabled. And then here's our settings. Resolution 4.3. Okay, we do not have 4K recording on this camera, on this phone. You know, we can only record in full 1080p at 30 frames per second. That's not a problem to me. And we've got 4x3, 13 megapixels, 1x1 at 10 megapixels, and 18 by 7 by 9 at 8 megapixels. So those are the different resolutions that you can choose from. We've got GPS tag, assistive grid, yes. Just turn that on. I like that. We've got mute, timer, audio control, capture smiles, ultra snapshot, and then restore to defaults. Okay, so those are the settings right there. And let's flip it around to the selfie camera. Okay, take portraits with potential. Oh, geez, I can't even read. I need some new glasses, y'all. Don't judge me. All right, so behind this camera, 8 megapixel sensor here on the front. As I mentioned, if you're over in Russia or other parts of the country, then you will get a 16 megapixel front facing shooter. So go ahead and take a quick little selfie here. Okay, very nice shutter speed. And interesting, so it's like when you take a selfie, it asks you, do you want to save the direction? And you can have mirror on or mirror off. I don't know. Let's mirror on, fine. Okay, I could always change that later. But as far as the selfies, you see we've got portrait, night, photo, video, and more. So basically the same options that we have for the front-facing camera. We'll just go back to photo. Man, these are some pretty nice, very detailed looking photos. Wow, very impressive. Not a surprise, again, just because, I mean, it's 2019, and even a lot of these budget devices, I mean, they have some really, really nice camera features and functions there. So, you know, a lot of the stuff on these high-end, more expensive devices, cameras and things, I mean, the average consumer, I feel, doesn't really use all that stuff. You know, a lot of stuff, you know, just being a reviewer, you know, I'm always testing cameras, portrait mode, and, you know, recording, whether or not I record in 4K and all that kind of thing. You know, that's what I do as a reviewer. But for the average consumer, I really feel like this camera on this phone will be more than suitable. It takes some pretty nice photos. Definitely stay tuned for the dedicated camera review. That's going to be coming soon. And of course, that's going to be followed with the full pristine review. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I've got for the unboxing of the Huawei P Smart 2019. You already know, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. Definitely stay tuned. Keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech, because I've got so much more content to come. All right. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you'll get notified and you can be one of the first to check out the video. And get down in the comment section and let me know what you think about what you saw. Leave me any questions or comments or feedback of any kind, and I'll do my best to answer your questions on YouTube or answer your questions in future videos that I plan on doing on all these devices that you see. All right. So again, until the next video, thank you guys for watching. Please stay safe, get spiritually fit. We're definitely living in the last days, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. This is the Huawei P Smart 2019 Unboxed. I'm your man Pristine, bringing you the content. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.